106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Well, hello, Glue Troopers, Max of Max's Models, and I'm back home from Chicago. And we flew on the mighty 737-800 Max because we ain't scared. And when I was going to the Jacksonville airport, I noticed that they had a bunch of plastic kit models that had been built on display with some artifacts dating back to the 1900s. They had it all broken down by decade. It's some of it's Jacksonville aviation history and everything, history of the airport. That was really nice, but I'm thinking maybe I should call these guys and offer a little assistance because some of those models are missing wheels and props, and you know how that just drives us model builders nuts. I'm sure I got stuff in the stash. I could probably fix them for them. We got to Chicago. I saw something's kind of an odd duck. It was a CRJ 200 from Air Wisconsin that was in Air Whiskey's own colors. I don't think I'd ever seen that before. So once I got home, I got organized. I had errands to run. I went off to the Wargamer store because I was looking for this Elysium Green that Mr. Jordan had sent me an email on from Citadel Paints, and he said it makes a really good zinc chromate for models. So I figured I'd give it a shot, and they had all kinds of cool colors, but they also learned they had different kinds. Of course, guess what was out of stock? Elysium Green, but I kept probing around, found they had another shelf of paints, and it did have Elysium Green. But you have to be careful with these wargaming paints. They're different because you have, some of them are bases, some of them are layers, and these all serve a different function. In fact, I'm going to let one of the locals there who was kind enough to help me out with it to explain the differences in some of the paints, because some of them require a white or gray base, some of them don't. So let's listen to what he has to say.
All right, so this was painted with Army Painter and Citadel Contrast or Speed Paints. Mm-hmm. The red model here was only a single layer of Citadel's Bale Red, mm-hmm. and you can see how it gives like a shade and a highlight to it.
But you said it was base coated in white?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you have to prime white. Actually, the helmet has a very light gray shade on it, mm-hmm. and that's it. But that's the color of the primer essentially.
That's beautiful work. And a lot of our guys do stuff in scale similar to that, and you know, with model airplane paints, it can get a little dicey. One paint that is extremely expensive, I think it's $36 a can, is this Citadel Gold Leaf. Now, Gold Flecks, and apparently actually has real gold flecks in it, which is why it's so expensive. Everybody had great stuff to say about it, but no one can afford to buy it. So, you know, there you go. By the way, speaking of Citadel paints, I've noticed some of the you glue troopers have been submitting some beautiful builds and have been talking about Citadel paints. They seem to be getting some traction here with model builders. And also, Brett was telling me about, I believe it's Mr. Paint is what he started using, and he doesn't seem to be interested in going back to anything else. I also noticed they had all kinds of cool diorama stuff, because, you know, wargamers do dioramas, and some of it could be used for the kind of things we do. A lot of it had a very Star Wars feel to it, and I don't know, it's just, I'm thinking more sci-fi oriented, but you could do something else with it. There's a lot of potential there. So when I was done there, I hopped over to Hurricane Hobbies real quick to say hi, and I saw Ian had a couple of new vintage models that he picked up somewhere on the shelf. And Brett had put another one of his masterpieces out. Brett, the superior master modeler. This is a Cutlass, which is, I think, had a 2-year service life. In its entire time in the military, it was that bad. But it's a beautiful build, absolutely gorgeous. And he's also got some those little tiny trains, quite a few more of them. They seem to carry a decent inventory of them. Now I was there primarily, other than say hi, just to pick up some paints, because I'd used the bulk of my silver and aluminum on you-know-who, you know, I seem to be using a lot of that gloss aluminum and flat silver and stuff, you know, the metal shades of late. And I'm going to need a lot more in the future, so I grabbed that, and of course some TS5, the olive drab, which you always need. Now, last thing is the wife and I had talked about the possibility, since the sci-fi shelf is getting so jammed up, of maybe going ahead and moving the Godzillas to the top of my desk because there's enough headspace here for them. And I'm like, yeah, you know, absolutely nothing wrong with trying to work here with, the terror of my childhood staring down at me all the time, just looking at me from on high. Yeah, I won't cause any nightmares. By the way, guys, I want to give a quick shout out to RC Groups, that website I told you about that has a lot of the manuals on display. I had emailed them if they had any history on profile publications, and they got right back with me. They didn't have any information on it. They just host this stuff. They don't really have any information on it, but it was nice of them to get back to me in a hurry. Okay, guys, well, that's all we've got for today. You take care of yourselves. We'll talk at you later, and as always, model on. I was looking for something to use a zinc chromate because the only zinc chromate I have left is some old Model Master stuff that I don't know if I can replace, and it just seems to be kind of hard color to find. Maybe I'm just looking in all the wrong places. Looking for chromate in all the wrong places. Okay, yeah, that doesn't work. That won't bother me. No, it won't. I'm a grown man. I ain't scared. Go away. Boo. Had a great time at the party. Tried to dance. Yeah, that was a mistake.